if we're expecting somebody online.
No, I'm expecting you. I'm trying to see how we can work this out.
Oh, you're changing my mic.
Yes.
I think they played the best fixtures in the Champions League yesterday. So I think that's it. Football. So we'll talk Champions League today. We'll talk the Olympics. We'll also touch a little bit on what's happening. Things we'll touch on. But those two yesterday, brilliant, and we have two more matches today. And the good news about yesterday is that the war did not end yesterday. That's the beauty of this round of 16. If I'm not given all the calls that were given that shouldn't have been given, we'll take your thoughts on all of that, but only after Zibby tells us how we can be a part of the locker room.
Tega, the way you said it, that's a huge responsibility.
Oh, yeah.
Placed on my shoulders. All right, the WhatsApp number is 0809 4440981. You can tweet at Smooth981. We're streaming live on YouTube. And you don't want to miss Tega and her crown, her afro.
Michael Jackson, Black Michael Jackson.
The channel is Smooth981, so you can catch us on YouTube and you can post a comment underneath as well.
All right. So we should we start with the headlines first? Because my gender have done a thing.
Yes, we have. Girl power. Super Falcons break Olympic jinx, qualify for Paris 2024. Enjoyed Alcaraz withdraws from Monte Carlo Masters. I'm sure Tega is very sad about this. Rubiales to testify on 29th April over Spain football graft scandal. Arteta urges Arsenal to learn from mistakes in Bayern showdown. Ancelotti confident Madrid will stay strong in Man City return. Dortmund cannot make any mistakes against Atletico, says Terzic. Security reinforced at PSG versus Barcelona game after IS threats. ISIS. Okay. Yeah, gosh. French minister. Everton docked 2 more points for breach of Premier League financial rules.
Yes, it seems that Everton and the rest seem to be their cases are very simple. They keep docking their points. We have not heard Manchester City with their 15 counts. We've not heard what they are docking from them. Points, money, we don't know. Somebody said the rules are for the small boys. And the big boys don't have to face the law. We'll find out what UEFA and Premier League think eventually. But let's start from Paris 2024 because it's been a while. I think last time we were there was 2003.
Tega, move your entire body into the screen so we can be sure that there is a full you and not a half you.
Why? What are you looking for? What are this thing you have to? I don't like when people want to see you.
Tega.
It looks like all those.
We want to see you and your hair. Come on.
No, it looks like all those things that they used to look at people's face in bowl. You know those Nigerian movies. Yeah. When you carry somebody to the next
and then the person's face appears in the bowl of water.
Then things start to happen. I don't want that. All right, so let's start with this. The result is the result. And I think maybe because we are too result oriented. Now the job was already done in Abuja because remember the first leg was 1-0 in favor. And remember South Africa came 2 days earlier. They came before the Nigerians even arrived.
Wow.
They were in Nigeria before the Nigerians.
Like we're ready.
They held ground. They're like this Paris we are going. We even have South African airline prepped and waiting for us. We are going. So the Nigerians came in the trickles. I think even Assistant Toshola came really late. She had to feature, even in this one, she featured from the bench. So came into the team. They did the job. They got a 1-0 result. It was not the most comfortable, and everybody was worried that when they got to South Africa, that was going to be different. And South Africa did everything right. In fact, South Africa even put them on TV. In Nigeria, we were all looking for streams where we watch it, and some of the streams we found, You had to squint, open your eyes at the same time just to see clearly. But South Africa got ready. They're like, come out and support the Bayana. Everything looked great. They were in Pretoria. It was fantastic. Then it got to the match of the day. And both teams, I have to say, made too many mistakes. I was like, why? This is a big match, but sometimes you also have to understand when these players get on the field for something as monumental as this, there are the nerves that come in. There's a psychological battle, which is different from the physical battle, which is different from the tactical battle on the day. And I think mentally both sides were so desperate to get the ticket that they played a little bit with some errors. So I saw the way the Nigerians were playing, at some point it looked like they couldn't string 2 or 3 passes together. At some point it looked like the defenders were quarreling among to pick up. No, you're supposed to pick up. And then the four was like they were on a completely different band. Not everybody's on a band A, B, C. They were probably in band C, and and defense was one in band A because they're getting all the action. But what it was Nigeria locked that midfield down. I think the shaky moments were defensively and offensively where they're not creating enough. The Bayana, the Super Falcons were able to hold Bayana to a draw that was leading by 1 goal. So Nigeria goes through to Paris. Now, that's part 1. When we reach Paris, do you know the group that we are in?
Oh, please don't know.
Spain,
Hey.
world champions. Japan, former world champions. Brazil, and the Super Falcons. Now, Brazil, we can beat them. Brazil women are different. We can beat those ones. I can almost guarantee we'll beat Brazil women. They play, we can beat Brazil. You see, the 2 people I'm afraid of, the Japanese and the Spanish.
Why?
So hopefully we would have had a bit more time together. And maybe the communication and the chemistry and the team spirit would be different than what we saw yesterday. So don't judge the team based on what you saw yesterday. Yesterday was just we had to qualify. Let's do what we can to qualify. But I think for the Olympics, the build up will be very different. And the team chemistry will be different, and the way they'll approach the match is different. So that's the hope. But I'm sure we can take Brazil. That one.
Taking Brazil is not enough. There are 2 people that can't be taken.
You see, this thing is mathematical. We'll take Brazil.
All right.
3 points.
Okay.
We now come and beat Japan. If we do well, look.
Tega.
I don't want to say this. Let not be like I'm predicting the future. At least Brazil and Japan. That Spanish team is a bit tricky.
Those Japanese, okay, maybe something will happen.
Let's see how it goes. Maybe Japan too would. So
maybe a draw with Japan. I don't know about it.
And then we'll be on 4 points. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Okay.
But that's the group we are in, a Group C, and it's a tough group.
Is this the group of death?
No, it's not.
Okay.
They fill the group with US.
Oh yeah. Good luck to whoever has to face US.
Zambia. Zambia qualified ahead of Morocco. So here's what is tricky. So Morocco went to Zambia and defeated Zambia by 2-1.
Okay.
They now went home. You will not expect that at home.
Home advantage.
They lost 2-0.
Wow. Okay, football is unpredictable.
Yeah, football is not mathematics. So at the end of the day, Zambia is the one going. So it's Zambia that went to that group. Zambia, good luck and bye-bye.
Exactly. Tega, you're so wicked.
It's not me.
All right. Well, number 3, Carlos Alcaraz has withdrawn from the Monte Carlo Masters because of an injury to his right forearm, and he announced this on Tuesday via his social media.
All right. So that was a tough one. I remember when they said he was training with the injury to his forearm. I was like, Juan Carlos Ferrero, what are you doing? Let this boy go home. It's not a Grand Slam. He doesn't have to kill himself here. He's already lost the number 2 ranking. He's 21. He doesn't need to be world number 1.
Yes.
Oh, no, he's already been world number 1.
Oh.
He was world number 1, then he lost it, and then became world number 2, and now he's world number 3. He has already touched it. He has tasted of the promised land. There's no need to kill the boy. But at some point, they looked like they were going to say that he was going to play. At the end of the day, he did not play because maybe the medical checked him and said, you know what, if we play with this, we're going to make the case worse. And so he went back home. So no points from Monte Carlo, which he would have, I mean, really maybe liked, and ultimately he has to go. But I'm happy he's gone home too, because I always say to these players, don't play through anything. Just get better, and then you can go on a long run and win as much as you can. So he's out. But yesterday, Novak Djokovic, world number one, um featured in a match. In fact, I don't even want to call it a match, featured in a training, because he was in and out very quickly.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, he was a very quick win. Monte Carlo is almost like his home to him. So he played yesterday. It was much of a breeze. Not much has happened. No big names have fallen yet. So far so good. Every
Wow.
He said we should start preparing for the big showdown in Paris. So that's what
Olatunde.
Batunde sent to us. Can we check what Mohammed is saying?
All right, Mohammed says, Tega, results are always what matters in any sport. It's journalists that always make a fuss about how the teams play just to create content of heroes and villains in sports. Just you guys created Pep as the hero and Jose as the villain.
First of all, I completely disagree, and I think contrary to popular belief in any case in life. If not, we'll not be arresting criminals. We'll be saying they arrest them. So it's as important and as how you do it. So results matter. How you get there also matter, because how you get there determine how what you leave behind, how much football is developed in the country, and the legacy of the team. So it's not just results to the answer, and then you get to the final and you flop like the Super Eagles did in Cote d'Ivoire, where we're getting through from one. What is the
Very good example.
What is it? And then we get to the final and it was flat. So how you do it is as important. Okay. All right. So
all right. Let's take a quick breather and we'll
let me off your mic. Let me off your mic.
Please turn it off. Turn it off. I was so distracted by this. I don't know. I think the internet is weird. I don't even know if it's still streaming. Let me see if it's still. The internet has been dodgy.
Because I think we're reading the message.
Just now. And it vanished.
Wait, has it entered?
Yeah. I'm trying to. Let me see if it will work on my phone. Let me turn off my Wi-Fi.
Sorry. No.
Yeah. Because I don't know if it's still streaming right now.
It's claiming that it's streaming. So yeah, it's streaming. So we'll come back. We'll come back to the messages.
Okay. Okay, we're still streaming. Okay, I can see us. Okay, that's
okay.
Good.
So we are back to streaming.
Yeah, yeah.
Should we leave the door open and?
Hello, good morning. There's a lot of conversation out there, so we'll shut the door. Okay, yeah, for the Wi-Fi, yeah? Okay.
We're going to leave the door open that they should keep it down.
Just a dream.
See what we see. What? See my afro like real back.
African Michael Jackson.
I said I didn't want to come. So I had all this calabarized.
One.
Yeah, one that I did. So it was when I was coming to the office this morning that I was losing it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I was planning to stay at home.
Oh my day.
So my nephews have they punished me.
They're taking over. Oh my days.
So much. So I had to run out of the house. So when I woke up at 4, I said, okay, it's a sign.
I need to
I need to get out of this house. I'm not going back immediately. After this show, I will wait. So don't forget, you're going to read
the messages. Okay.
So type YouTube.
Okay. Now that love's taking over. Look, let me take a drink water really quickly. This is going to be the fastest water dash.
And we're going to try to run through it because once we get through Chelsea, let's say Chelsea. Sorry, once we get through to Arsenal and want to get through to Arsenal and the rest. So, oh yeah,
where those players actually
better.
Arguing on who take a kick or what? Those Chelsea people. Ooh. You're still in the locker room on Smooth 98.1. It's Tega and Zibby. Yes, our messages are back. Tega did something and the messages vanished. But, you know, like the angel I am, I fixed it.
It's okay. It's okay. I look like Manchester United. You're blaming the devil, right? All right, let's start with Tayo's message.
All right, Tayo says, we are struggling with South Africa with our squad, but congrats to them. I hope we can perform when we get out there because it's looking like the proverbial group of death. Randy Waldrum relies heavily on foreign players. He shouldn't be all the time. President Zibby is for thinking that's why people grapevine is tomorrow.
I don't know one thing apart from my family.
Okay.
All right. So Maiwa, thanks. Yeah, nice afro. Yeah, nice. All right. So we're reading Olatunde Omishola's message, and he said Super Falcons eventually qualified for the Paris Olympics. Congrats. We should start preparing for the big showdown in our group matches. I wish them all the best. He also adds, let the Elephants concentrate on the Premier League, else they'll end the season trophyless as usual. And then Abiodun says,
hey, Tega, bright and back in the flesh, our dear queen of sports commentary and analyst, Agba Bola. Hey, how much is Afro? Okay, Olumayowa says, shout out to Falcons. The Champions League gave everything it should give. Great goals and controversial calls. I hope tonight delivers too. Chidozie Valentine says, first of all, let me congratulate the Falcons. Padre Pio says, oh, wow. Okay. I think it's sorted out now, yeah. Yes. And he says, Arsenal really pulled their weight last night. I really enjoyed what I saw.
All right. So let's quickly see if we can get to that last. Okay, we'll have to get to Rubiales first before we get to that.
All right. On Tuesday, someone disgraced ex-Rubiales to testify on the 29th of April.
So because it started from that World Cup kiss and things have just gone down for him. Yes. So Rubiales, this is a completely different case. This is a money case now. They said there were deals that were made to take the Spanish Cup to Saudi Arabia. And there were deals that were made and some of them were questionable. He was not the only one invited. Guess who was invited? Yes, the man I thought future Barcelona president, Gerard. So yes, if I say Shakira, Gerard Piqué and Rubiales are some of the names that were mentioned in some of those deals that are being alleged as shady right now. And so he's going to have to come to court and testify, not just as a witness, but as part of the people that were involved in it. So very tough one for Rubiales. He can't catch a break. For Gerard Piqué, you get what you deserve.
Keep your hand on the lips and other body parts to yourself.
All right, so let's go straight to what happened.
Mikel Arteta has warned Arsenal to learn from their costly mistakes in Tuesday's dramatic 2-2 draw against Bayern Munich if they want to reach the Champions League semi-final.
All right. He's warned them against mistakes, and there were so many. By now everybody knows the results ended 2-2. Bayern Munich could have taken this one. There's a particular chance they had that they could have scored and they would have been 3-1 up. Unfortunately, they didn't. So very tough one. But there were controversial moments in this match, and the most controversial of them all is the Saka falling in the 18-yard box in the last few minutes of the match. Some people said it's a penalty. Some people said it's not a penalty. Some people said they can live with it. Ultimately, I think that I would have given it as a penalty. I would have said the referee should give it as a penalty. And there's a misconception that once a referee goes to check out the monitor, that he's most likely going to change his mind. So they shouldn't be letting the referees check out the monitor. That's balderdash. If the referee needs to check out the monitor, he needs to check out the monitor. I've seen referees go to the monitor and come back with the same decision. Of course, I understand that in real life situation, that sometimes they are precious. When you go to the monitor, it means that somebody has told you a different opinion and you're still stuck with your opinion. So if they review your opinion and it's wrong, then you may be held accountable for something. But if you followed the advice of the video assistant referee, then maybe, just maybe, everything will not fall on you. You say, lie. The box still stops at your desk. So I think sometimes for some situations that referees should just go and review the monitor. Leave all the psychological warfare that you're having in your head. Because it seems the ball gets to Bukayo Saka, and Bukayo Saka decides that he's going to round Manuel Neuer. I didn't think he should have done that. I think he was already ahead of too many defenders and one-on-one with the goalkeeper for him to take the shot from where he was. But he decided he was going to round the goalkeeper. Now, in running past the goalkeeper, he dangles a leg. He does leave a leg out. However, Manuel Neuer also moved his leg towards Bukayo Saka, and moving his leg towards Bukayo Saka is what creates that contact. I don't think Manuel Neuer would touch Bukayo Saka if he didn't move his leg towards Bukayo Saka. And because he moved his leg and there was contact, it should be a penalty. Doesn't matter whether Saka dangled his leg or not. End of the day, referee says, I'm not giving it. Now, some people can say they can live with it because referee does not give it. But I think if he gave it as a penalty, they won't argue too. So ultimately, Arsenal missed an opportunity, but it was a tough one. I thought Arsenal were a bit afraid. And I think, because they're just getting back into the Champions League, no matter the poor form that Bayern Munich is in, Bayern Munich is still daunting before them. And that is why that match ended 2-2. But what it means for us that are watching is that there's no victor, no vanquished yesterday. We go again at the Allianz Arena and enjoy football.
All right. So let's move on to the next story. And this one has to do with Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti, who says he's confident that first leg draw.
Again, like the Arsenal, but I think this one was a little more entertaining because, like I said, Arsenal were playing a little afraid. With Manchester City and Real Madrid, they're like, we are going to outscore each other. There's no defense here. There's no award for defensive player of the year coming from these two teams. We are going to kill ourselves here. That's how they went at it. And it was the goals. The goals were beautiful. I mean, apart from the deflection for the first goal, which made it ordinary, and then the slight deflection in the second goal, but even the build up for you could tell that Pep Guardiola was scratching his non-existent hair just just to try to outsmart Real Madrid, and you could tell that Don Carlo was looking for something else other than chewing gum to put in his mouth because he was under pressure. But both coaches, both managers should thank the players and the quality that they had on the pitch. Those were the guys that delivered. Unfortunately, some key people were missing for Manchester City, like Erling Haaland. What are you doing in these big matches? This is where we expect you to shine. And you're young. He that is down is fatal for. If you make any mistakes now, you can recover for the playing. So another person I will question. He had some one or two brilliant moments, but for the most part in it, he was doing a lot more talking than playing. But it was a brilliant one. I would say both teams went for it. Both teams got goals, and I think it's the same thing that's going to happen at the Etihad Stadium. I think at the end of the day, it is the defense that can be tighter that would win this eventually, because it looks like both teams are not really playing much defense. 3-3.
Yeah. All right, there's no margin for error when facing Atletico Madrid. This is what the Borussia Dortmund coach Edin Terzic said on Tuesday as he prepared his side for their Champions League quarterfinal tie against the Spanish club.
Yes, that's today. These are the matches you enjoy today or endure today.
Yay,
You know,
Diego.
endure because
Endure.
Atletico Madrid can play some of the times, especially when they're coming up against a team like Borussia Dortmund that is expressive and play open and counter to try and get a goal, and then it just becomes a completely different story. And if you watched both matches yesterday, you just be wondering why they put these two matches on the same day, knowing that this could be the best and most exciting tie. We had to watch two screens yesterday.
Wow.
Yes, that was the to pass the ball get goals. Atletico Madrid can be known to sit deep. They've not always done that effectively this season, but they can be known to sit deep. So this is going to be a lot more tactical, and Dortmund is going to approach a match knowing that that's what they like to do, which means that they'll also try to dominate the midfield. So it just looks like it's going to be a tight, boring, tactical match. But hey, what can we say?
So boring with Diego Simeone. That's
No, Diego Simeone is exciting. Match is all different, but the camera will not always be on him.
That is true. All right. Security will be considerably reinforced at Wednesday's Champions League match in the French capital between PSG and Barcelona after the threat
news about security. We're like, why? Why does it have to come and mar football? But I like that security is heightened. I hope that they can take care of everything. And if they feel that security is not up to the way they want it, they are free to call off the match, please, because it's more important to save lives than to have this football go on. Teams are struggling if you watch them play. And the difference is Luis Enrique has the knowledge of how Barcelona to some extent play because he's a product of Barcelona. Xavi is trying to even know how he's going to play before you start telling him to think about how someone else is going to approach him. So it's a tough one. And PSG, Barcelona is always tricky, always exciting. There's always something, at stake beyond the football and the result. There is that pride, especially if you remember that Barcelona came back from the dead and scored 6 goals to knock PSG out.
Wow.
One of the most wondrous nights in Champions League matches. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'd like to see Kylian Mbappe express himself, considering the fact that he wants to go to Real Madrid next season. He can use this to practice for El Clasico. So he'd be happy to be able to score a few more goals.
All right, let's look at the messages. Ojo says, complacency is what made Arsenal to play beyond expectation. They will prove the whole wrong in Germany. They will excel. Oluwaseyi says, I keep reiterating there's a huge difference between Everton's Nottingham Forest case and that of Man City. Everton and Forest admitted they were wrong and accepted the charges. Both teams' only issue with the FA and Premier League is the severity of their punishments. Man City, on the other hand, doesn't admit they're wrong. They deny the 115 charges, and they're waiting for the FA Premier League to prove them wrong in court. So the FA needs time to properly prepare for the case against Man City. Not forgetting Man City already won their case against UEFA for almost similar charges.
Okay, Oluwaseyi, I have to say that Everton also denied their charges. They were just caught.
Oh, wow.
They also denied it at first. They're like, oh, we didn't. Oh, we didn't do that. Which is why.
So I say Man City might be guilty.
Look, it's not what I know, it's what I can prove. Which is unfortunately why I can't talk, because I don't have money if they sue me. Because I know. Anyway.
Tega. Exactly. Let's keep it. Rubiales lifestyle. This is from Tayo. It's truly a telenovela. We're now in season 2. PK is now a full-fledged
not sure. I felt he was imbalanced. However, both English teams gave us a draw, which I ate with fufu. All right, Oniru. The Real Madrid versus Manchester City game last night was a proper CL Classic. Those beautiful games, goals flowing. And Emeka says, why should UEFA fix two insane high-class matches a day? I have just one thing said his mind. UEFA will ban him 600 years. Lastly, constant thing I've noticed in life is Hurricane must go against us. What I'm saying with from YouTube. And this one is Chidozie Valentine. He says, no, Tega, no, that was not a penalty. Saka was the one who ran towards goalkeeper. I was thinking about Tega, what of the Gabriel penalty? This one was
Tega in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds, let me just wrap up this one. I think that should have been a penalty because the goalkeeper had placed the ball and then he kicks the ball and passes it to Gabriel. Gabriel now catches the ball with his hand, then places it again and kicks it. So it was looking like, oh, that was not a pass. That this was me trying to start the game. No, by the time the goalkeeper played the ball and kicked it, the ball was live. So for you to touch it with your hand, penalty, Arsenal dodged a bullet. So yes,
wow.
So that's a penalty that people are crying about. That was the cancellation. 1-1. For staying with us, we'll be here again on Friday to talk more sports.
Wait, what was that guy thinking?
As in, I couldn't believe it.